are honored. We are honored. We are honored to be able to have you all on our broadcast tonight. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, something going to be said tonight. If someone out there, if they marriage on the rock, on the blink of separation or whatever the case may be, and if they just listen, not just listen, but listen attentively, I'm sure they're going to get some nuggets tonight. They would look at one another and say, baby, I think we should try this just one more time. And I'm sure they will. And so now, because Doc, man, I've been following Doc, been knowing Doc and his lovely wife, Donica, for quite some time. And they ain't never, I don't even think they argue. I don't think they ever had an argument. And I know they said it's unusual. Said no two people can walk together and not disagree on at some point in time. But I just don't see it in these two couples right here. Wait, Doc, you know Doc, man. Doc, I ain't never heard Doc say nothing but nice things about his wife. And it's sincere. He's not putting on any airs or anything. And that's where it's supposed to be. You're supposed to uplift your queen. And Doc, he does that well. And I mean that from my heart. Doc does that well than anybody I ever met, man. And I thought I did a good job, but Doc, man, I can't even hold a torch to Doc. They talk about his brine, sugar delight, caramel, just all that good stuff. I can't even put it in words, so I'm not going to even try to miss it. I'm sure that he's going to share a little of that with us tonight. So like I say, man, we're honored tonight and we're in for a treat. So we don't come on the broadcast just to be coming, just to have something to do. We don't come on that for that purpose. We come on to be able to help someone, because as we all know, just so much going on right now, especially with the pandemic and everything. People just hurting now. They hurting. They need an outlet. They need to see somebody that are a survivor, through this marriage. Because I'm sure, like a lot of times, a lot of people felt like they was stuck in the house during the pandemic. But Doc probably looked at it, man, I'm safe in the house. With my performance is like, he put a twist on that thing, and I'm sure he did. And so that's what it's all about. Like I say, a lot of people are hurting. They've been through so much. This pandemic have put a lot pressure on a lot of people. It really have. And so life is all about perspective. So in a time like this, you have to be tough, man. Despite doing it all, you got to continue to look to God and continue to trust God. Because a lot of times when we're going through certain things, a lot of times we may think we're being rejected, but in actuality, we're being protected. God was preparing us for something going through this pandemic. As we were going through this pandemic, it wasn't no time to panic. That was a time to pivot, from some of the things that wasn't serving us. That was a time to pivot. And I pray and hope the ones that didn't pivot during the pandemic and you made it through the pandemic and you on this broadcast tonight, I pray and hope that you pivot in a direction that's going to enlighten your life after listening to Dr. Breakthrough and his lovely wife, Nadia. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce Dr. Breakthrough and his lovely wife, Nadia. And so now just pray and hope that you got pen and paper, keypad, or whatever form you use to take notes. Do it on your iPhone or whatever the case may be. Take notes tonight, because Doc going to put something on you tonight that's unreal. And Doc, I think him and Nadia got a new book or something out too. So, and I definitely, Doc, want you to make that pitch. Not trying to sell anything, nothing like that, but that's what life is all about. It's sale. So. And it's not just something to sell. This will be an investment. He wants you to buy the book. He wants you to invest into it. And he didn't ask me to say that. So that's just something I done. He didn't even know I was going to say that. And so if as you listen to him tonight and you want to take him home with you, and you want more of what you're going to hear tonight, get the book. Because him and his lovely wives, wrote the book. Just like he was sharing with me, and he was saying that you can tell his chapter from her chapter, because his chapter is going to be long. So with that being said, who is the Harris? Dr. Breakthrough and one of his wife, Nadia. Who is the Harris? I want ladies go first. Who are you, Miss Nadia?
Well, my name is Nadia. It's Nadia Michelle, and I am Dr. Breakthrough's wife.
And I'm her husband.
13 amazing years. I'm his I tell people I'm his, his secretary, his counselor, his cook, all that stuff.
Girlfriend.
I'm all that.
And some.
And some.
And some.
You see, most men try to find a woman.
Wait a minute, Doc. She ain't finished yet, Doc. She's not finished yet, Doc. Don't get your turn, Doc.
I was just throwing in a little piece.
No, I'm just, I'm the behind the scenes person. I'm really supportive of my husband and the different
That's great
that he does. So I'm the behind the scene person, and I'm comfortable with that. We're definitely a team. We're partners, not only in our covenant, but in business. And in everything we do, we confide in one another. We discuss it with one another before we make any major decisions. But a lot of people see him out front because, that's what he does. But I'm the behind the scene person. I kind of hold the kite string while he's going all over the place.
I'm the kite, she's a string.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's me.
And she's the one that always says, baby, just breathe. Just breathe. And she always says, keep the kingdom.
Keep the kingdom. Gotta keep
anyway,
the kingdom.
yeah. So that's my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delight.
Now tell us about you, Dr. Breakthrough.
Well, first of all, as Dr. Breakthrough always tell people, as Dr. Breakthrough, you see on the shirt, I can't provide the breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. But when people follow the breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides a breakthrough they desire and deserve. And a breakthrough is exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. And, my whole main message in life is every master was once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. And when a mess becomes a master, you now have a message that if you market properly to the masses, you can make millions. And that's my story. But again, when it comes to marriage, I mean, you were joking around saying that we don't argue. Well, in the beginning, we argued, we fought quite a bit. And actually, it wasn't her, it was me. Right? So then we learned.
We didn't physically fight.
Yeah, no, not well.
I would have had to take him out, but we.
Yeah, because see, them trophies are really hers. I'm just one. But anyway, yeah. So we used to fight face to face. Then we learned to start fighting back to back. Oh, did y'all hear? They didn't hear that. Let me say it again. I said we used to fight face to face. We still fight. We just don't fight now face to face. We fight back to back. So now instead of fighting each other, we fight against anything that tries against us. So we call it breakthrough love. And that is, you got to have the kind of love that's going to determine to break through whatever comes against you. I read something one point that, true love is, and this breakthrough love is the love that lasts through the things that destroys and breaks other couples up and tears them to pieces. Because we're total opposites. And by the way, let me give you three thoughts. Number one, opposites attract. Okay, so opposites attract, like the negative and positive polar, right? Opposites attract because you see something in that person. But then if you're not careful, here's what starts happening, and it happened to us for a while. Opposites attack. Oh, somebody. See, first you're attracted to each other because of the differences, and then you start attacking because see what happens is Nadia has strengths that in my case is my weakness and vice versa, right? And if you're intimidating, if you're trying to compete, right, as opposed to complimenting, and that's where you start getting into the third stage, the breakthrough stage, is where you go from opposites attract, and then opposites attack, to then opposites. You know what the successful ones, they go a step further, and they're going to learn to complement and to be a team, right? TEAM, together everyone achieves more. Team, I like to say together everyone accumulates money. Hello. but anyway, so three things: opposites attract, opposites attack. But then here's the key: opposites. What was it? As I tip my tongue, I got another A. Adapt. That's it. Opposites adapt, right? So you have to learn to adapt. In other words, it's like Nadia loves peace and I love to fight. Seriously, I mean, I've got a very aggressive, go for it personality, where she's just the opposite, right? And so I had to learn, she calmed me down, but in some cases I put a fire in her, you know, like, hey, you ain't just running over me, not like, you know what I mean? So, but I'm not a detailed person. She is a detailed person, right? So it's learning. So we got to adapt. So again, first you attract being opposites because like, oh, that's cute. They're so different. But then after a while you attack because it's like, man, you know, the very thing sometimes you're attracted to, now you start attacking because you can be intimidated. But then if you just learn the opposites adapt and start, like I said, I just realized, hey, I'm the kite. I'm that guy that's all over the place and she's the string and everyone, hey, big boy, just come on down. Hey, just, you know, and so we have to learn, I have to learn that we each have blind spots, right? And so she's got wisdom and like, she's great. She has great perception. Me, you can stab me in the back. I'm still like, oh, brother, man. She's like, baby. So it's that learning to adapt one to another, right? And like I said, so it's again, every marriage, I believe, starts off, you know, or can be in the mess, but then it can be a master marriage. But you have to have that breakthrough love. Like Nadia would always say, baby, let's just keep it kingdom. It's always about the kingdom. Keep it kingdom. When you start thinking kingdom, like I gotta say this, when we first got married, man, she said something blew me. She's beautiful on the outside, but I tell people she's even more beautiful, if not 10 times more beautiful on the inside. But when we got married, you know, when you marry a beautiful woman, you know it's gonna cost you. But I was like, I gladly pay, right? But she said to me, baby, we don't want to spend money ever. I was like, excuse me? She said, no, we don't ever want to spend money. We only want to circulate money. And I was like, man,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I was like, that's good, but what does that mean? And so break it down, baby. What does that mean?
Like, you know, when you spend money, you end it.
Yeah, she said, go ahead.
Yeah, when you spend money, it's gone. When you circulate it,
goes out and comes back. A never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. Come on, somebody. So again, we're a covenant couple building covenant relationships based on the covenant of promise, and we desire and aspire to aspire breakthroughs in others even after we've expired. So we want to leave a legacy that people can say, no, we can, because again, you're going to either break down or break through. And sometimes, Brother Frank, Dr. Frank, sometimes the breakdown leads to the breakthrough. See, the Bible says, unless a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. Here's the key. But if it die, it'll bring forth much fruit. So a true marriage, we say, is 2 deaths and then 1 resurrection. Oh, come on. Let me say that one more time. It's 2 deaths. Like I had to die to me. Now that's you know, people talk about, I got to do me. This is me. I just got to do me. No, instead of me doing me, why not allow God to do himself through me, right? So a true good marriage is going to be 2 deaths and 1 resurrection. We die to each other, ourselves, but we resurrect as one for the kingdom, right? One for each other. And so wanting to do what's best for Nadia, like every day I pray and say, Lord, please love Nadia through me, right? Because I don't have the wherewithal to love her the way she needs to be loved. Only God can do that. But Lord, let me be the vessel. So love Nadia through me, right? And as a matter of fact, we have a contest going on to see who can love each other the most. I always tell her I'm winning. She's like, nah.
I got it.
Whoa, that's awesome, dog. That's awesome. So I want to know, how did y'all meet, man? How did you all meet? And who made the first approach? I already know pretty much, probably Doc. I already know that, but I just wanted to hear it from you. You know, just my imagination. I'm sure Doc made the first approach.
We actually met on a dating site. Dating site 13 and a half years ago. Yeah, and that's how we met.
And
listen, our profiles didn't match at all. So when he hit me up, I was on a 30-day trial because no way I'm paying. I'm paying. They didn't like. So I was. My coworkers had set my profile up, and of course I had to tweak it once I found out. But once he hit me up, I looked at his profile. I'm like, we don't match. It doesn't match. So there's no need of wasting each other's time. So I was polite and I responded and I explained it to him. It don't match. So I'm not going to be bothered with you, basically. And so I didn't say it like that. And so you want to take up, let's let him tell his side.
Well, you know, there's 3 sides of every story.
Absolutely.
He says what she says and the truth. No, but what she didn't say, and I'm thankful for those coworkers, they said to her, girl, all you do is go to church and go to work. You need a life, you know? So they put together a profile, put on, you know what I mean? And so, and then of course she found out about it, was like, no, wait a minute. So she's changed it around. It's like, well, it's 30 days free, whatever. And so, when I saw her picture and I
that's all you need with 30 days, what it, Doc.
Hey, when I read that profile, when she's talking about the understanding the purpose of a woman and a woman's worth and the power of covering, I was like, who talks like that today, right? And then I saw her picture. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, I'm like, now she half as pretty as that picture is over. I mean, you know, reading that and then look at, you know, I'm like, man. And so, matter of fact, I tell people she's eye candy, brain food, and spiritual refreshment in one package. Come on, somebody.
All right,
yeah,
come on.
So I sent her a message, you know, like I said, she responded back, well, you know, we were, and then I heard her voice and I was like, wait a minute, you really talk like that? And she's like what? I was like, soft like that. She's like, yes, is it okay? I'm like, is it okay? Oh my goodness.
He's so over the top. Yeah.
But anyway.
So then we finally had an opportunity to meet for breakfast, right? Yeah, breakfast.
Yeah, because of course I was pushing for it right away. I want to, and she's like,
no. So we met at a public place, and my coworker was like, okay, you need to get there first. Okay, get there first so you can, you know, spot everything out and send us pictures where you're at. And so I had pulled up and I was waiting and I saw him back in. I knew it was him because he told me what kind of car he was driving, and so I took a picture of his license plate, his car, and I sent it to my coworkers. And I said, here's where we're at. Here's his car. Here's his license plate. So they were like calling me every 15, 20 minutes. So breakfast turned into lunch turned into dinner. And then it was like
turned into every day.
Every day we were hanging out, you know. So, and then 5 months later, we got married. And
wait a minute. You left out a piece. So I take her out and she's like, so why are you eating? I was like, oh, I'm fasting. And so she didn't tell me till later. She's like, yeah, right, this guy. And
every time we went out to eat, he wouldn't eat. I was like, and then about 4 months in, I'm like, he's losing all this weight. And I'm like, what's going on?
But but I was praying for God to give me direction, right? And to make sure I got it right. Because I'd been married before 26 years and we had dated 5 years. You know, I did everything based on what the church taught me, and you know, and no holding hands and none of. I mean, man, I was like, man, I'm doing everything based on what they taught me, and I'm like, and how could my marriage end up, you know? And so that's why I said, God, I got to make sure this is really you. I don't want to, you know, I got to hear from you. Matter of fact, we were on the planes going to speak one time. Oh, wait a minute, bro, Frank. Let me. Here's another thing. Like, because you know, as an evangelist, you know, I travel around speaking. So I asked her one time, I said, if money was an issue, what would you do with your life? She said, oh, I'd just travel. Oh, Lord. I was like, that's a good one.
Right. But before that, he started inviting me to come to some of his events that he was speaking at. And I just really wasn't interested in getting to know or getting to see that side of him. I wasn't interested in all of that, you know, on stage and, you know, all that stuff. I really wanted to get to know this person, his heart. And so I thought it would be good for me not to get entangled in all of that extra, you know, the speaking, all of the stuff that goes on along with that. I wanted to really get to know him and to get to know his heart. So I made the decision not to go to any of his events.
Because I sure invited her.
And it turned out really well because I got a chance to really get to know him as a person instead of Dr. Breakthrough, Dr. Staying on the stage, because I think a lot of people get smitten by that and kind of lose, you know, the real focus. And so I think he really respected me because of that. I know he wanted me to go, but I was like, nah, let me get to know you as a person first.
Right.
Yeah, and so I mean, it was amazing because, you know, the way she put out things, she said, I just want to get to know Stan. I just want to get to know your heart. And, you know, and when I met her also, there was something I couldn't put my finger on it. We were married for several years, almost 10 years before I could actually put the wording of it was something about her essence. That was the word. I was like, I just kept saying, I don't know what it is about you, but people think I'm this guy and I can do all this stuff, but when I'm around you, I feel like I can do more. You remember when you were young, Dr. Frank, the PF flyers make you run faster, jump higher?
Yes, sir. I remember the PF flyers.
Hey, I was like, she had something that, like, there was something, I was like, man, it's like whatever. I was like, man, it's like, so here's the way I put it on Facebook the other day. A good relationship is based on someone who accepts you as you are, but yet inspires you to be more than you are. Yeah. Oh, let's say that again.
Come on, that's a nugget down. That's a writer down.
Yeah, see, someone who, so it's based on someone who accepts you as you are, but yet inspires you to be more than you are. Yeah. Right? And I think that's what God used both of us to do for each other, right? And it was just amazing. But anyway, we were married for a while, and she found, I guess I left a journal out or something. But anyway, but she saw a journal and she's crying. I was like, what happened? And she's like, oh my goodness. So, because she found out I really was fasting, right? And as a matter of fact, I remember we was on a plane one time flying somewhere to speak, and I was like, jump. She's like, what happened? I said, God just spoke to me. I said, what did he say? I said, well, I can't tell you yet. Because I was like, I got to hear 3 times. I got to make for sure, right? So, but I was praying, God, is this the one? And I want to, and so anyway, so finally, like I said, when I let her know, and I was like, and so it was 5 months in, I proposed, we got married. And somebody said, man, that's kind of quick. I was like, well, first of all, we weren't young kids anymore, number one. Number two, I fasted 100 days, nothing but water and juice. I said, wow. when you don't do nothing but water and juice for 100 days, you start hearing the voice of God real clear.
I know that's right.
But then she came out, she was crying, and she's like, wait a minute. So you were fasting for me? You were fasting for, getting discernment and so forth. And so, anyway, a sacrifice on my part. And again, anybody watching this, like, look, you got to understand, I started fasting years ago. First of all, I never even thought I could fast, right? And our church went on a day fast. And I thought I was going to die, right? And then I started doing one day a week. And then I started 2 days. Then, I'd do a 3-day. And I remember hearing people fasting 7 days, like there's no, anyway, I saw that to say, when you hear stuff, you got to use wisdom because see, part of the thing also was I heard people talking about John Wesley waking up at 4 o'clock to pray, but they forgot to tell me he went to bed at 9 o'clock. So I was living off 3 hours, 3.5 hours sleep. I was going to bed at 12:30, 1 o'clock, waking up at 4. I was like, till one day I collapsed out of exhaustion, right? Your body can't handle that after long. But anyway, so I just want people to have wisdom with that. But again, so from the day we got married, Nadia started calling me her king. And I was like, whoa. It was uneasy. I mean, it felt good, but it was uneasy because the way I grew up, the church, was like, we're sinners. We emphasize, it seemed like the sinner part more than the saved by the grace of God part, right? And I know a good friend of mine, Pastor Glendy, I pray for him, Harvest Baptist Church, he calls everybody saint. So it's Saint Glendy, Saint Stan. And if you think about that, the most carnal church in the world, Paul said to the saints. So if you call yourself saint, you might have to live more saintly. But at any rate, she kept calling me king and I was feeling uncomfortable. And eventually I started calling her my queen, and it dawned on me. She's like, if this brother don't know who he is in the Lord, I know who I am. I'm gonna keep. But her calling me that, is like, man. And I had to call her that. And so that's one of the things I think in relationships is you have to call people not based on the way they are or what they seem like, but based on what God says and what the word is all about, right? And so even when you don't feel right, or feel extra good, you're still just using those words. And we did a thing on the 5 love languages that helped us to understand about the love languages and that we could on purpose speak the ones that, were what. But let me say this real quick and I'm gonna throw it back to her. I found out, again, after we were married, I found out on her job, I would call, I'd be talking to her and she had to do something. So she put the phone down and go do what she had to do with her, come back. And I'm still talking. She's like, girl, he ain't miss a beat. We can just hear me on there talking.
I want to talk to the air.
So I talk a lot and she's kind of quiet. And then when I get done, when I'm finally tired of talking, then her engine kicks in. Now she's ready to talk and I'm a perfect listener.
That sounds like psychology, Doc.
But when she speaks though, she's like every word is like a bullseye, right? So I'm kind of like shotgun, man. She's like a 30 out. It's like every word is like, right? So
anyway. Short and to the point. Short, sweet, and to the point. You know.
And by the way, we wrote a book. We got a website called Christian Computer Love, and we wrote a book called Christian Computer Love: how to find the love of your life, how to avoid the pitfalls, and find the love of your life on or offline. Because people kept asking us, how do we meet? And we was like, you don't really want to know, especially way back then. Internet dating was like, so they're like, you don't want to know. And every time we tell me, like, really, it worked for y'all? Like, what did y'all do? So I kept, after about 30 or something people, I said, baby, next time somebody asks us, we need to have a book, right? And which is another thing, by the way, I found out what she wanted to do. I was like, look, what would you like to accomplish? And she took those things that she wanted to accomplish. And so I made sure those things were done and accomplished. And one of the greatest things is when we renewed our vows not long ago. And she said that, those different things that she had, that all those things were done. And so, I think that's one of my proudest accomplishments, that I can, empower her to do what she wanted to do.
Wow. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So now imagine, you were fasting and all this and that, then I imagine it was a time. How long did it take before you get your first kiss, Doc? That's what I want to know. How long did it take before you get your first kiss, man?
Oh, man, look, I wasn't a teenager no more. It didn't take me how long did it take me, man?
Long.
Because I think I was like, after being with her, I was like, man, she talks all soft and sweet. And like her essence, like just, again, I didn't know the word back then. There's just something about her, And so, I don't know how long was it?
What, after?
Oh, before I kissed you.
Oh,
The very first one. The very first one.
The very first kiss was probably, it had to be a couple of months after.
A couple months after meeting you? You mean a couple minutes?
Come on, Doc.
It was about the second or third date.
Before you kissed me? Okay, a week. A week.
Hey, look. All right. Now I got it now. Okay, so hey, I don't know about that, but I sure know I made up for lost time. That's all I know. Hey, even at our vow renewal, now she's like, baby, she said, now be good now. And I was like, okay. Because sometimes it's better to get forgiveness and permission, right? As soon as he says, she said, okay, we renewed them vows, I grabbed her, threw a lip locker on her, man. And I was lip locker a little bit, but anyway.
Yeah, you put that lip lock on
and throw it on her, man.
It was over there, wasn't it, Doc?
Beautiful anyway. She came out extra beautiful. I was like, man.
Oh, you wow.
I just think, we really keeping honoring the covenant and really understanding that and honoring really, really kind of what really seals our deal with us, because I think it's such a priority, and I think people really, really need to understand that, honoring your covenant with one another, and keep that priority. Yeah, and then we keep it fun too. And he's my friend. I really like this guy. I'm like, I don't just love him. He's my friend. I really like him, and so, we just try to do things to keep it going.
Well, and I'd say too,
it's work.
Yeah, it's worthwhile work. See, it's worthwhile.
That's right, worthwhile work.
Worthwhile work, right? Because I said, so I was going to say this earlier, and that is, they said some men are looking for women they can live with. I found one I don't want to live without. Oh, come on.
Ooh, come on now, Doc. Come on now.
But one of the things I think is also is, you have to be quick to ask for forgiveness, and the other one has to be quick to forgive.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that wasn't always easy for me. That took me a minute.
The Bible says, let not the sun go down upon your wrath, right? So be angry and sin not, right? So you have to be quick at asking for forgiveness if you've done wrong, right? And again, I don't like the term SORRY, because first of all, the words I am are the two most powerful words in human language. So whatever comes next has to be something powerful. So you, instead of saying you might just want to say the word sorry, but I like to say, I apologize. And even more importantly, would you forgive me? Mm-hmm. Now here's a step further that makes it even more, what can I do to make it right?
Yeah, I love it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you both, matter of fact, we had something not long ago, and it's like, she went out for a minute to go somewhere, And by the time she came back, she's like, "Oh, baby," I said, "No, I'm sorry." We were like, right.
Yeah.
So I think, again, being quick to ask for forgiveness, quick to forgive, right? And again, because again, all of us, I mean, man, we come from, I mean, sometimes I can't even hardly get along my own self, right? I don't know about y'all, right? Because so I'm saying, so we're human beings, and actually we're human becomings. And I think that's even another important part, is to understand that we're both growing. And so when we see that we're both growing, it's easier to deal with stuff when you know that the person is growing on their way, right? As opposed to somebody just say, "Hey, this is the way I am, you know, just like it or lump it this way." No, I got blind spots. She's got blind spots. So if she can help me to see those areas, right? And one of the things that she did that was, I mean, is beautiful. If a woman can learn it, look, she would say, "Baby," and she's already got the soft voice. Because see, if you come at me rough, I'm alpha male. Hey, we getting rough. But she learned that the Bible says a soft answer turneth away wrath. She says, "So baby, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." She's like, "Can I ask you something or say something without you getting upset?" Oh, man.
I can't promise you that, huh?
I don't even think she'd ask to do that anymore, but in the early days, right? I'm sorry, said it. Go ahead.
What you said? I can't promise you that.
Oh, no. I said no. Well, she said, "Can I ask you something about you?" I said, "Well, now that you put it that way, of course." I mean, I'm not, you know what I mean? And so, but it just diffused everything, and it made me aware and understand, because sometimes we're so especially as men, right? Especially alpha males, like we're so defensive, you know. And it's a wise woman, like Scripture says, a wise woman buildeth her house, right? Yes. And a wise man's going to build his as well. Hello, somebody. So when we use wisdom, right, and I'm understanding that she loves peace, right? So to me, sometimes, because I grew up with 5 brothers, right? I mean, 4 brothers, so it's 5 of us. And my mom was like a tomboy, right? So she was rough, and that's where I got started martial arts, by the way, watching her knock somebody, her boyfriend out from her martial arts lessons. I'm like, that's what I got to learn, right? So mom was rough, brothers is rough, you know what I mean? So this feminine, you know, females like, okay, she loves peace, she likes softness. So I gotta mellow it out a little bit. Especially when I'm dealing with her, right? But when she would ask though, and I have learned to do that now with people, but when she said, "Baby, can I ask you something without you getting upset?" Then it dawned on me, wow. So my response sometimes, I'm jumping in a defensive as opposed to really listening. But when she would ask in that way, man, it's like, okay, if I was gonna get upset, I ain't gonna get upset now. What you need, baby, right? And so that really helped. That really helped me out. And it's so funny because people that know me, they're like, man, and that she didn't know that she didn't know way back then. They're like, man, you're so like mellow compared to where you are. And so now she's starting to hear it more and more. So now she understands the effect that she's had on me, right? And the balancing, right? The balancing and helping me. Like I said, I'm the kite and she's a string, right? And so.
Yeah, and for me, I just learned, I studied him so much. I studied so much his ways, his attributes, his, you know, his moods. I studied him. So I kind of know how to, you know, approach him in certain situations. I know all of him. I know the Dr. Stan, the Stan, Clifton, Dr. Breakthrough. I know how to handle all of them because I studied him. And so I think for me, my tone, how I even approach him is really important to kind of calm a situation down when he's dealing with something, or when we're, you know, in a debate. You know, I know how to come to him where it could just bring it down. I don't really have to say much. It's all about the tone for me, you know, how I approach things or how I approach him, you know. But I studied him. I mastered this brother.
And that's awesome right there. And I love.
Yeah, there's anything I could say to women, master him. I mastered him. So I'm like.
Well, and you know, I think another thing is important too, is that we both, when we met, by the way, we both were working on ourselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. So most people, they're looking for the perfect mate. We were working on being the perfect mate. And so when you work on becoming the perfect mate, then that connection is extra good, right? It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And
there's still those obstacles that you still have to deal with.
Those are barriers that we break through.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because we human, we're gonna have those barriers sometimes because you're human. Because no one perfect,
Right.
but you can deal with those things that when it comes into your life, you can deal with them in a perfect way though. And that sounds like that's what I'm hearing here. You deal with that in a perfect way. And I never heard a woman, not even a man, and said that I study, he studied their spouse. And I never heard that. And that means a lot right there. You know how he go, you know where them triggers and things are. Absolutely. And so you do all that you can to stay away from those triggers. And that's what causes a long lasting marriage. Because two people come together, they don't know one another, and they study at one another's throats all the time. And there's no satisfaction there. That's where that song coming. I can't get no satisfaction because you don't know one another. And so you keep doing one of these numbers all the time. And that's not marriage.
I got me some satisfaction. Okay. By the way, Tina Turner, what she had a song of, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" And so we actually we say true love. I mean, that's not our experience. Our experience is true love has everything to do with it, right? And when you truly love wants to do what's best for the object. And so, and like sometimes I'll say to Nadia, I was like, can I talk to you just as a friend? Can I just, I just need my friend right now, right? And sometimes she'll say the same. You have to be able to do that. And then, and especially when you start getting like, I'm super busy, then, and we work out of our home, right? So everything is out of the home. And so, like I said, the pandemic. But anyway, it was like, okay, what's new? We do this is the way we live. Yeah, this is the way we live. So we're very blessed in that arena.
Even though we do work out of our home and we're still very, very busy, we still have to plan time to just really.
That's what I was going to say. Yes. Yeah.
Plan time to really spend together and make sure, that intimacy, that being intimate, outside of the bedroom, even inside the bedroom, but.
Inside, outside, all the way. Okay.
To plan time for one another.
So one of the things with me, man, is like because most of my business is on my phone, right? And so sometimes I know she's already quiet, right? But then when she gets extra quiet, I'm like, now something else. So she asked me one time, she said, sometimes I feel like your phone is almost like a mistress. I was like, what?
That was long time ago.
Right, but still, so I went on a 3-day phone fast, man. People thought I died or something, man. They were like, what? I was like, I can't have my wife feeling like that. And I think that has to be a thing too, is I think on both sides, you have to be able to say, respect what a person feels, right? Because they see it, and then be willing to do something to, to make amends and to do something different. So now as a general rule, if I'm with her, I don't normally answer my phone unless I'll say, baby, do you mind if I take this one, right? Because I found that was the thing, because it's easy for me just to get in those conversations, and, she's just over there like, okay, right? And so, so now we walk together. Walking really helps too.
We walk and pray together.
Yeah, walk and pray.
And then we just talk about, whatever life issues,
and going on dates. What's funny with us is our dates usually include going to eat. So what's funny is when I go on my long fast, like not long ago, I did this long fast, was it 40 days? And she was like, baby, I just feel, she's like, I just don't feel close. I'm like, you don't feel close? We do everything together with this. And we pinpointed, because we haven't been out to eat together. We walking together, we talking together, we're doing this, we're doing that. And so, but it's because we so much of what we do is like eating together. So I was like, okay, there you go. So, but again, it's just learning. But she helped me to understand though, although if we're together a lot, I just need that time, that quality time, which is you and just me. Right. So whether we're going bowling, whether we're, so we talked about now going to, what's the thing called? The iFly, where you go inside it's like inside and you're flying. They're called iFly. Yeah. So we talk about doing that tomorrow. But anyway, different things, she even got me back out on the skating rink, on the skate. I almost broke my neck. I was like, hey, so.
You gotta keep it interesting.
That's right, keep it fresh. So that's what we talk. That's what we talk about.
How much is? She loves Shark Tank too. We love MMA, American Greed, The Prophet, but she loves Judge Mathis. It gets her laughing, and I love it when she laughs. Brothers, you gotta love it when the wife laughs. Now, come on, keep laughing. But anyway, so now I learned to love Judge Mathis, and sometimes I watch it even when she's not even. I mean, just because that's something that she likes, and it gets her laughing. And I'll see something funny. I'm like, baby, look this, And so, but like I said, you just got to have those things. And sometimes some things are small, not long ago, I wrote I think a love letter. I actually wrote it out, and because we also, by the way, if you haven't been to, okay. But if you haven't been to a counselor, I mean, we got counseling, and one of the things the counselor mentioned was about writing a love letter. And I'm like, I tell her all the time. Yeah. I tell her all the time, right? I'm always, that's one thing and so, but when I wrote, and I was like, man, she kept the thing. It's fun. She referred back to it, everything else, So anyway, let me stop.
And you're absolutely right about that. That's what I tell people all the time, how important it is writing a letter, because those are your own words. Write a letter is more important than buying a card, giving it to them, because those are your own words, and you took time to sit down and write that out, and you put some thought into it. So you don't have to put no thought into it when you go get a card. So you would know not it's coming from the heart or not. You just sign good, the gesture and everything good. But when you sit down, use your own mind and your own heart and your own pen, that means a lot. Because I do that with my kids a lot of time. I write them a letter on very certain occasions, because you'd be surprised the kids that never had a letter from their parents and everything from their own hand. So that means a lot right there. That keep those ties together. So man, y'all have said so much tonight, man. I just enjoying what I'm hearing. What is some of y'all favorite date night? What are your favorite date nights? What night do y'all usually choose to just do y'all plan y'all date night, or y'all just do it spontaneously?
Strategically, spontaneously. I'm spontaneous, she's strategic. Right? But sometimes she gets spontaneous. And if she says, like after church yesterday, she said, baby, let's go to Oklahoma. We'll drive, okay? So we went to Oklahoma after church, right? Just drive up there, go, but she'll say, okay, I got a taste for Brahms ice cream. Okay, well, let's go. Yeah. Right? But anyway, so let me let you.
If in terms of, we both like MMA, UFC, so that's a big thing for us. So if there's something good, a good fight coming on, then we're excited. We make sure we make time, no distractions or anything. It's just he and I, So that's something we do. It's simple, but it's fun. It's what we like to do. So yeah. Well, so I would say we're both pretty spontaneous when it comes to date nights and stuff, because we just like, whatever, let's go, let's do something. But we know it's important to plan it. We don't necessarily plan it. We just know in our mind, okay, we got to do something this week. Let's make sure we do something together this week. No certain day, just make it a point to make it a priority to do something, just he and I,
And for brothers like that are in ministry, are like businessmen too, which, sometimes, the whole balance is not even really a good word, because you got to be out of balance sometimes to get that thing going. So sometimes I'll say to Nadia, I need 60 days or I need 90 days. And I'll be super, super focused. I got to get this thing going, because once I get the thing going, then I can back way more. So, but if you will, gentlemen, if you'll speak to your wife and set that and just let her know, hey, I need this time. Give me this much time. Now she's willing to, to do that without you feeling like being nagged or whatever else, which I can say, thank God, this woman, she's a miracle. I've never been nagged ever, but I'm just saying though, but it helps her though, in her mind. I'm like, baby, for the next 60 or 90 days, I'm gonna have it on the grind. I mean, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Then that helps her, right? And when she has that, then that helps me. Then I'm not feeling guilty, or I'm not, you know what I mean? And because with some men, that's how it affects them, right? And so, and then I know me personally, like if we're not doing good, my business is not good. right? And so one of the things she always said, what's that quote that you say that really keeps me reset on there's no amount
of success.
Yeah. So no amount of success in the world, church, or business can compensate for failure in the home.
That's a fact.
And as a true success in the home is the greatest foundation for success in the world, in church, in business, etc.
Right.
And that's a fact.
So that's something that helps to ground me, and to keep you grounded. But I've got also a marriage prayer that's in our book that I believe could really help a lot of folks. And then Nadia has a thing. Baby, you need to be.
Let's see if
okay, let's.
Frank has some more questions.
All right. Well, at least at the end, it close off. Let me do the marriage prayer that we put together. Then she's got a little special thing she put in the book that I see people copying all over, and they don't even give her credit now. I'm like, wait a minute, you got that from my wife.
So like I say, I know there's no such thing as perfect peoples, and every once in a while, do you all have y'all little spouse or like misunderstanding or whatever the case may be? Who usually be the very first one to apologize and to say I'm sorry? Or you? Who usually be?
Well, lately it's been me. Lately it's been me, and I'll tell you because I have been on a journey to really hearing God in every aspect, and I've always, that's always been my prayer. But it's just, the last year, 2 years, it's really been, something I've been intentional about. So if I think I did anything or said anything, even in my attitude or anything, I may leave for a couple of minutes just to cool off and come back. And lately I've been the one that's been saying, I apologize. I said this the wrong way, I did this, or, will you please forgive me. And like he just stated earlier, that was one of the situations that happened, 2 weeks ago. And I came back and apologized, and he was, it was a beautiful thing.
That's huge. That's huge. I love it. But
I just like peace in the home. So I can apologize. I'm good with that. Let's just get through this piece, because I believe in keeping the kingdom in everything we do. And we really can't affect the kingdom if there's strife between us.
Yes.
So,
amen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Malcolm X said, by all means necessary. Like when one person don't use their sense, the other person has to use theirs.
Yeah.
That's in order to keep things going. That's huge. I'm gonna ask this question right quick. We can get ready because it's our time is for a spin. We got about 5 minutes to 10. Good Lord, time flying. What is your love language, Nadia?
My husband, his is affirmation and touch. Affirmation and touch.
And hers is quality time and touch. Mm-hmm. And so, in fact, the other night, she's like, babe, just.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, baby, you want me to get a shower? She's like, hey, no, just hold me, okay?
Yeah, and it's this comedian that does a joke about that. I'm not gonna bring it up, but so yeah.
That's awesome, man. I've been loving what I've been hearing now. I get so much that I can just go on and on and on, but we don't want to go too long. So I'm gonna ask you this question right quick. Why so many marriage today, they don't stay marriage long? Why is it? What were some of the things you think? You have said a lot of things tonight already to be able to answer this question pretty much. But what's that one thing that you would say to a marriage that's out there now that having their ups and downs? What was that one thing that you would tell them? What was that one thing that you would say to them? I know it's more than one, but what that one thing that you would say?
Well, Nadia wrote about it in the book.
Okay.
We got a book called Positioned. It's called Position to Prosper, 8 Golden Nuggets to Ensure Your Prosperity, right? Mm-hmm. And I think they have their mind focused on the wrong divorce, right? Like what happens is people start thinking about divorce. Divorce is great in the right context. So here's what Nadia said. I'm filing for a divorce. I am filing for divorce after much evaluation of my life, my past, my present, visualizing my future. It is imperative for me to move forward. I realize I can't move forward while being hindered and distracted by my past failures, hurts, mistakes, or my present issues. So I'm filing for divorce. I'm divorcing my fear in marrying faith. Come on, somebody. Because see, in marriage, when you have fear of something, the Bible, Proverbs 10:24, the fear of the wicked shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted, right? So all those secret fears that we have, Satan uses that, right? But no, Nadia said, look, if we divorce our fear and marry our faith, she said, I'm divorcing my hurts and pain and marrying healing. I'm divorcing lack and marrying abundance. I'm divorcing insecurities and marrying self-confidence. I'm divorcing negative thoughts and marrying positive affirmations. I'm divorcing anger and marrying happiness. I'm divorcing unbelief and marrying belief in myself. I'm divorcing death of dreams and marrying life. By the way, acronym for life, live in freedom every day. I'm divorcing the church and marrying the kingdom. Ooh.
My Lord.
I'm divorcing, as my husband, Dr. Breakthrough says, she says, I'm divorcing my past and marrying my future. This divorce is final, and there's there's nothing that can change it. And she says in here, by the way, is there anything that you need to divorce? And so I think the number one thing is these different issues come up and people start thinking about divorce, but what we should be doing, we should be divorcing the thing that's causing us to have the problem.
God Almighty, that's a nugget. That's a writer down.
Right?
Man.
So I got to divorce if it's selfishness, I need to divorce my selfishness. If it's not being narcissistic, I need to divorce being a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. We have to, I think that's one of the number one things. And so the things, quote unquote, cause us to then start leading and talk or end in a quote unquote divorce, where if we would divorce something now, we wouldn't have the divorce later on. Oh, come on, somebody.
Well, first thing they got to recognize they have a problem, because so many people that they dealing with these issues and everything, they don't recognize that they have that issue. They don't recognize it. In order to be able to get rid of anything, first you got to recognize that you are the problem. Because that like people call sometimes and say, Frank, I need to talk to you. I got issues. I said, let's stop right there. I said, you're right, it's you. Because every person's problem lies within themselves. And you got to recognize that in order to utilize anything, you got to recognize, because you got power over anything you're dealing with. You got power. You got to be able to recognize it, and you got to realize, say, it's me, oh Lord, to stand in need of prayer. We got to quit pointing fingers at other people's and everything. Start looking at yourself. Why is this person upset with me? What did I do to cause that? You got to take responsibility pretty much for everything. When you take responsibility for everything, despite of whether you the cause or not, you'll be able to get through it so much easier and so much quicker and so much smoother. We got to, that's one of our biggest problems. We don't take responsibility.
That's so true.
And so that's awesome, man. I just love this tonight, man. Good God, man. We definitely got to get you all back. Now
responsibility means respond with ability. Responsibility. Respond with ability.
Respond with ability.
Can I give my marriage prayer? Because I know we about to close.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want, you can do that. And I wanted Nadia to, that letter that she had written that was saying when she did it so eloquently. I definitely want the brother to be able to hear that, man. She did it. I want both of y'all to do that. So I'm gonna be quiet for a minute, and you both do that right quick.
I was talking about our vow renewal. You mean at the vow renewal?
Renewal that she had written.
That
was awesome. That was so beautifully written, man. I said, wow.
Wait a minute. I freestyled that.
Oh, did you really?
Sir, I freestyled that and recorded it. Yeah.
Well, where can someone go to hear it then?
That was straight from my heart. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact,
you sent it to me as well, Doc.
I sent you the full version, but I can send you the piece that just she did. Because it's on my YouTube.
Type in to see it on YouTube. What do they need to put in to see it on YouTube?
I'll tell you in a second. I'll pull it up.
I mean, it's beautiful, guys. Y'all need to go to YouTube and hear that. That was all. That would bring tears in your eyes.
Oh, you mean the one that broke me down?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well written, well thought of.
Yes, it was amazing time that we had, and all 8 of our children, because I had 4, she had 4. The first time all 8 were together at the same time, it was absolutely incredible. So
they all get along well. Blended
yes.
family. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, they're all grown except 2. The 16-year-old and the 19-year-old is at home. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, no, you don't look much more than 25 yourself. Doc really took you. I'm serious. Doc really took care of you. I know, said, well, I take care of myself. That's what a lot of women would say.
That's from a stress-free life.
Absolutely.
We take care of each other. All right, so I found the link. Now, what you want? Should I send it to you, or you were saying, or do what now?
Go ahead and cite it. Let the people know. Or put it in the feed one. Or you can put it in the feed one.
Feed one. What do you mean feed?
So,
on chat?
Yeah, the chat.
Okay. Now, how would I get it into the chat here? All right, I'll figure that out. Because I'm on I found it on YouTube. Okay, I know what I'll do.
Or you can go back on after you go off. You can't do it now. Once you go off, you go back and look at the replay and you can put it in.
It says it's Nadia's tribute to Dr. Stan, aka Dr. Breakthrough, at their vow renewal. So again, but I think what I'm going to do is, give me just a minute. I'll figure out how to get this from my computer. I said, yeah, okay, I'll get it.
Just read the prayer.
Okay. In the meantime, Doc, let's hit them ABC from A to Z. I mean, talking about his lovely wife. He had a letter of the alphabet. Every letter of the alphabet represented his wife. That was powerful.
Okay, let me see here. I wasn't ready for that, man. but hey, I get
it. Ready, dog. I don't believe that, because you stay ready. Ain't never seen a time you wasn't ready for something.
So I said, so Nadia, you're my ABC. I always called her my ABC, but for that special vow, I called her my ABC times 3. So ABCD, that's adorable brown caramel delight. ABC, the second one, angelic blessed chocolate delicacy. Well, ABCD, anointed beautiful covenant darling. And then I said, no, she's my A through Z. She's adorable. You're adorable and you're artistic. You're beautiful. You're blessed. You're classy. You're cute. You're delicious. You're delightful. You're empathetic, empowering, and there's something about your essence. You're a friend. You're favored, and you're fast worthy. I lasted a whole 100 days by the grace of God. You're glamorous, gifted, and you're my gift from God. You're honorable. You're intelligent. You're insightful. You're inquisitive. You're just what I wanted and just what I need. Lord help me. You're a king intensifier and king inspirer. You're kind. You know, the Bible says in her mouth is a law of kindness, and she has it. You're luscious, ladylike. You're lady breakthrough. You're mine, and I'm yours. You're nurturing. You're Nadia. You're outstanding. You're poised. You're perceptive. You're queenly. You're quiet. You're quick to forgive. You're respectful. You're resourceful. You're you're sweet, sexy, sassy, just a wee bit. You're trustworthy, treasured, unique, virtuous, voluptuous, valuable. You're warm. You're wise. You're wonderful. You're excellent. You're youthful. You're zestful. Bro, I got to go when she smiled like this. I got to go.
I'm about ready to say that too. I know that right. Amen, as you, Doc. I got a
early morning in prayer, guys. I asked the Lord, how can I describe her? And he just started bringing some of those things to my mind. And you know, I think each and every one of us have gifts, talents, and abilities. God, the master creator, made us many creators and gave us a mandate to create. And we, you know, if you would have saw our vow renewal, And I sent you, they can find it online. But all those decorations Nadia made for months in advance, she was making all this stuff. I was like, I mean, I was shocked. I mean,
I saw you made them?
All that stuff.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow, very talented.
Thank you.
Incredible. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
Very
blessed.
Wow.
So here's the marriage prayer. That's if they go to Christian Computer Love, I think the prayer is on there. Or even if they have the book, was the book? It's called Position to Prosper.
How can they get the book?
Position to Prosper. They go to the website, positioned, and the number 2, prosper, positioned to prosper.com. And then we have the other website, christiancomputerlove.com. But the breakthrough marriage prayer, this is something that really helped me. And I've got several couples that pray through this and claim this. And so it says, Lord, love my mate through me today and love me through them. Pass your unconditional love through me today so I can be everything I need to be and everything that they need me to be. Now, in my case, obviously, I'll say Nadia. So I realize that in marriage, we often get 80% of what we want and 20% of what we don't particularly care for. So I decide today to focus on the 80% that I like in my mate instead of the 20% that another may have. Because in other words, some people are looking on the grass is green on the other side of the fence, but you're looking at that 20%, right? Instead of recognizing the 80% you have. So I'm grateful for my mate today. I'm committed to our relationship in spite of any challenges that we may have had or may be having now or will have in the future. I will not allow in-laws, family, children, sex, finances, work, or church issues to drive us apart. I realize there are seasons to life and relationships alike. So I'm determined here and now not to allow the cold of winter or the heat of summer or even the fall to keep me from maximizing the spring of new beginnings. Oh, Lord, I choose to be happy today in a special way because I have the power of choice. I will speak my mate's love language today of talk, touch, time, tenderness, treasures, or trinkets. I'll make numerous deposits into their emotional love bank with joy. Our marriage is satisfying and fun. We play and pray together. When angry, I'll count to 10 before speaking because every word is a seed.
Yes.
I stand and exercise forgiveness. I operate on faith, not fear. I focus on following through with my covenant commitment, and I see us 40 years or more from now, happy, deeper in love, and enjoying the fruits of our covenant. So we communicate freely and effectively. Others' negative opinions of me or my relationship is none of my business. And I refuse,
come on, dog.
I refuse to allow it to become my reality. I will be kind to my mate's good points while partially blind to his or her faults. I will believe, and of course, in my case, Nadia, but I will believe my beliefs and doubt my doubts.
Yes.
We make each other's day. We compliment each other daily. We are an exceptional couple. We do not take each other for granted. We are growing closer. We are blessed to have each other. It's a wonderful life. Amen and amen.
Wow. And amen. Now we got some closing words.
Well, I would just encourage everyone to just remember to always keep the kingdom and understand and honor the covenants. Relationship.
Amen. That's huge. And y'all see where I love this couple right here. I mean,
love you too, man. Appreciate you.
You can always, when you talk to Doc, you always going to get knowledge and you're going to get some humor. You know, it's all combined and it works so well, so in conjunction. And that's awesome. You know, Doc's serious, he's serious and playful all at the same time. And it's very, very.
You helped me with that because I used to be too serious.
And that's awesome. I want to say, man, I have thoroughly enjoyed you all tonight. I really have, man. And so, and once again, I thank you all for accepting the call tonight. And once again, now I want to give you another special